Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be tackling a new topic, one that has yet to be addressed on this channel. Now in the world of alternative medicine, there are lots of different types of substances, herbs, and different methods of juicing that people claim can be used to cure you of whatever. It seems that whenever one idea is debunked, another arises. Here's a video where someone claims that the bay leaf has healing properties. Don't know what a bay leaf is? Well, you're about to find out.
Today I would like to tell you guys about something that's pretty interesting. We're living in this particular day and age where it's like we've got all this stress and we're being told never take drugs, that's bad. But on the other hand, we go to the doctor, we say I don't know, or something's wrong, and the doctor says, oh, here's some drugs.
Yeah, sure. You know, drugs encompass a wide range of substances. Anything that can have an effect on the physiology of your body is considered a drug. It's a broad definition. Heroin, for example, is a drug, but so is caffeine. Hormones in your body are technically considered to be drugs. So as you can see, just saying that doctors give you drugs and then tying them in together with the drugs you tell children to avoid is not very accurate. The drugs that you're taught to avoid are things such as cocaine, heroin, meth, all that stuff. Which is different than, say, getting Advil prescribed from your doctor. Not to mention that the drugs they prescribe is for a specific condition you have. If you have diabetes, for example, you take metformin. If you have a bacterial infection, you take antibiotics such as amoxicillin, ciprofloxacin, or doxycycline. If you have anxiety issues, you perhaps take diazepam. Of course, it depends on your doctor, but they prescribe drugs to help whatever condition you have in order to return you to normal. This is different than going out in the streets and illegally purchasing narcotics just to feel good. The saying, don't do drugs, applies to the latter, not the former.
Now, think about this. The drugs the doctor gives you kills your liver.
Wait a minute, that depends entirely on whatever drug you're taking. I mean, I could think of a few examples right now. The biggest one, acetaminophen, which you use for fevers and pain, has a side effect on the liver, but it won't really be a problem unless you overdose on it. There are some others too, such as chlorpromazine, but generalizing this to all drugs is unfair. Plenty of them have no effect and plenty of them are beneficial, such as ones used against liver disease, interferons, acetylcysteine, stuff like that. Making specific claims like prescribed drugs damaging your liver is just dishonest at best.
Most of the drugs, if taken for too long of a period, you'll die. You'll get very sick.
Well, if you overdose on anything, you'll die. Everything has a limit to how much your body can take in a certain period of time. You take too much anything in a short time span. You did. You take 200 sleeping pills? You did. You eat 100 tons of sugar? You did. You drink 50 gallons of water? You did. So in that sense, everything is technically a poison, right? Each substance has a different threshold limit, which is why when you get prescribed a medication from your doctor, there are clear instructions as to how much to take and to not take over a certain amount in a period of time. That prevents overdose. However, this is different than just taking a drug for a long time, as you said. If you drink 50 gallons of water, but instead is over the period of many months, then you'd be fine. It's the same with prescribed drugs. So I completely disagree with your statement. Follow the instructions provided by your doctor and pharmacist and there shouldn't be a problem.
Most of the drugs, they've already told you when they hand them to you, you only take this for a week, or you take this for 2 weeks, or you take this for a period of time.
Yeah, it's almost like if you're not sick anymore, you don't need to continue taking the drug. Oh yeah, and of course this doesn't apply to drugs that are needed constantly for an indefinite amount of time. Drugs such as metformin for diabetes or serotonin reuptake inhibitors for depression, etc.
And they're not even herbs that they're giving you. They're simply chemicals that can literally damage your body.
Everything is technically a chemical. There's no need to use that word in such a way as to make people fear prescribed drugs. See, the medications doctors give you will always have some physiological change to your body. Whether it's good or bad can be situational at times due to their specific effects. But they are carefully prescribed as to fix whatever problem you have. Sure, you can say that drugs are bad, but it's entirely based on perspective. Let's say a drug decreases heart rate, such as beta blockers. Given randomly to healthy people and at large doses can be detrimental. In that sense, this drug is bad for you. However, if you give it to people who have abnormally high heart rates and get random panic attacks, the drug is good, because it is used to counter the negatives that person is experiencing. See, it depends on what the situation is. Taking drugs randomly while being perfectly healthy is not recommended, of course, which is why pharmacies and hospitals are very careful on how they utilize drugs. When taken full advantage of, they can be used for the greater good of everyone. I think it's easy to think of drugs as a knife. It's sharp and has many functions, both good and bad, but it's the way you use it that matters. Taking advantage of as many positives is what makes the knife a great tool in human society.
Most of the drugs we get from the doctor are not hallucinogenic They don't relax you.
Do you just expect doctors to randomly prescribe hallucinogenic drugs that don't help your condition whatsoever? Oh, sir, you have heart failure? Have some fucking magic mushrooms. I don't know about you, but if I go to the doctor to treat my strep infection, I'm expecting something like cephalexin, not 3,4,5-trimethoxyphenethylamine. You have no idea how many tries that took. And it's not even the common name. Anyway, what do you expect doctors to do? Oh shit, you have cancer? Have some ayahuasca so you can die peacefully. No, you get chemo.
All of the supposed herbs that they used to partake of in ancient medicine were whole herbs. Even the Bible says that the leaves of the trees are for healing.
Oh, wonderful. We should base our understanding of modern medicine on a book written thousands of years ago when no one had any idea what medicine even is. Look, we have made so much progress due to modern science. Not due to ancient text, but science. You're literally asking people to backtrack into the Dark Ages. No, we're always going to advance forward no matter what you say. And modern medicine is not a huge fan of taking natural remedies and herbs to cure your illnesses. Probably because it doesn't work. I'm sorry, but these claims can be falsified, and they have. Let's just stick to what works, shall we?
Well, I want to tell you about one particular herb that you might experiment with, because this particular herb can very much help you. And it's so simple and so easy, you can go out and do it this afternoon. Have you ever heard of a bay leaf? Just a simple bay leaf.
Ah yes, the bay leaf. It's a common ingredient in some cuisines due to its sharp taste. Are you now proposing that this can be used for medicinal purposes?
The origin of this goes back to ancient Greece and to Israel, and they would suck on the bay leaf, chew it up, or even burn the bay leaf, and it would invoke divine inspiration.
Ahaha, divine inspiration. Well, that's not exactly the same as medicine now, is it?
What in the world would they be chewing on a bay leaf or burning a bay leaf for, and in what way would that give us inspiration? I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this notion that you can eat bay leaves, or you chew a few bay leaves. It can be very much like a narcotic. Now, what is a narcotic?
Yes, it seems that the bay leaf can indeed be a mild narcotic if eaten at large doses. Supposedly, it depresses the central nervous system. I wanted to find exactly what the molecule was that was causing the depressive effects, but any search on Google seems to be contaminated with alternative medicine sites that don't give much objective information on the leaf. I found some studies that would indeed mention some medicinal functions of the bay leaf, such as its ability to possibly lower blood sugar levels, giving it a possible alternative for diabetic patients. However, overall, there just simply hasn't been enough research done. I believe we have a decent knowledge on the compositions of bay leaves, but our understanding of its effect on human physiology is muddy at best. And you know what that means. If there's no sufficient evidence of it being able to treat or cure diseases, then we shall assume the null. Now, he's about to go into a rant about narcotics, so let's listen to that.
Say, Dave, what are you talking about? You're not telling us we should take narcotics, are you? Well, friends, narcotic is a word that's an ancient word. It doesn't mean what it means today. Narcotic is derived from that Greek word narcos, and it just means to sleep, to rest, to calm your nerves, to make you rest, to make you feel better. That's why we do it, because it helps us to rest, and that's what makes us heal.
Indeed, narcotics did originally refer to substances that helped with sleep. However, its modern definition now encompasses anything that blocks pain as well, such as opioids. In the scientific community, the word doesn't nearly have as much of a negative connotation as it does to the public, since the common people tend to demonize substances such as heroin, morphine, and codeine. Which I think their opinion is justified, just not accurate. Again, drugs are like a knife, and that includes narcotics as well. So yes, I agree with you about the point of narcotics not necessarily being bad, but the way you're speaking implies as if narcotics are always good. I wouldn't word your sentences in a way to encourage healthy people to take narcotics.
And there is nutrition because it's a leaf from the tree. It has natural oils that scientists today have said can be very helpful for nervous tension and stress.
I would love to see a trustworthy source on the claim about oils and stress, please.
And it also explains why this leaf can produce this trance-like state, an unconscious state in which certain women that were in the city of Delphi were able to use to go into this trance and receive inspiration.
Okay, but how is that going to heal me, as the title of your video says?
The oil that's in the leaves has also been used as an antifungal or an antiseptic, an astringent. It can help to fight cancer.
It seems that the bay leaf being an antifungal is possible due to the presence of monoterpenes and sesquiterpene molecules present in the leaf, according to a paper I found, but it's not surprising that a plant would produce something like that to fight off fungal invasion. That being said, it's not smart to rely on it to cure your fungal infections. It is still much safer and smarter to obtain an antifungal from your doctor. This is the same for cancer. Even if the bay leaf has shown to promote apoptosis in colorectal and breast cancer, you should not use it as treatment. And this is another thing I wanted to address but have yet to talk about. When you take natural things from nature, such as herbs or leaves, you will eventually undoubtedly find one that has anti-cancer or healing abilities of some disease. That's inevitable due to the vast variety of plant species out there. In fact, many drugs we have come from nature. We discover a specific molecule that has a desirable effect and we extract it or produce it in a lab in order to use it in modern medicine. That being said, until this molecule we find has been properly studied, experimented on, and utilized in clinical trials, it's not a good idea to just take the raw plant and consume it for medicinal purposes, because the substance itself is not enough. There are plenty of other factors to be considered, such as dosage, side effects, drug interactions, etc. And these are all equally important. Proven medication that doctors give you have passed approval of all the previous steps. They are given to you in a specific dosage in a controlled setting. Consuming bay leaves at home lacks all of those factors, which is why it should not be done. This applies to any self-administered alternative medicine. It's not just the unfiltered effects of the substance, but also the context in which it is given that matters.
It can stimulate digestive properties, and it's been used to treat the flu, respiratory problems, and you can also reduce your craving for food, help you lose weight, and it will improve your immune system, protect your body against harmful free radicals, and it will also heal your wounds. It can be used for that purpose.
Okay, now you're wandering into a territory of unproven claims. If you really think a leaf can do all that, then you must be deluding yourself. I wish you would have provided some justification to your claims, perhaps tell us exactly what molecule inside the bay leaf is facilitating all these benefits, and their mechanism of action, but I suppose that's too much. Anyway, that's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Huge shout out to Fireshard once again for his loyal support on Patreon. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next week.